incredible dexterity, muscle memory, preparation, and unshakable focus. Weeks, if not months or years of practice and planning, all for the opportunity of showcasing one's craft to the world. These are traits peak musicians have in common. Yet, similarities can be found in practitioners of other arts, games, and sports. The craftsman, athlete, and grandmaster must live for their craft. However, in my eyes, there's another that also shares the same qualities. The speedrunner, who's someone who tries to complete a particular game as fast as possible, many times taking part in competitions and striving after world records in time. Speedrunners are able to complete in hours, if not minutes, a game that would take normal people days or weeks. Join me today and learn more about the world of this incredible endangered animal, the gamer. I'm Andres, and welcome to Incredible Animal.
Cut.
That's not the name of the show. Well, then what is it?
I haven't thought of far yet.
Then why are we already recording the intro? I have an idea.
What if we call it a... No, that's silly.
Yes, I'm listening.
What if we call it... I... Everything started when I was 0 years old. My mother gave birth to me, and the first thing I felt was a slap. At the moment, I realized I was at the bottom of the food chain. Things didn't change that much during my childhood. I was skinny and weak. My eyesight was so bad, I once mistook a raccoon for my dog. It bit me. I have had rabies phobia ever since. I'm sorry. Back to the story. But there was a turn of events that helped me develop my inner confidence, my inner Chad. One Christmas, my mother gave me a PlayStation 2 as a present. The games that came with it don't matter. The story is not about them. All that matters is that I spent hours upon hours learning how to coordinate my tiny little fingers and press buttons when I should. Naturally, there were times I got stuck, I hit a wall, and there was nothing I could do to progress in the game. Even if you are not into games, I'm sure you know that feeling, the dread and anxiety-inducing experience of knowing there's more beyond, just within your grasp. Yet, you don't have enough skill, power, or experience to advance. A job interview for the perfect position, a test you've been preparing yourself to ace, a person you have been waiting for the ideal moment to strike up a conversation with. That feeling is the same for all situations. Their solution, however, varies. In my case, I was too young to realize, but my stubborn nature is what gave me the answer to my problems. No matter how many times I failed at the game, I kept trying, I kept practicing. With each attempt, I was slightly more mature, slightly faster, slightly wiser, and slightly more prepared, and slightly closer to developing tendinitis. Or so my doctor wants me to believe, but I don't. What happens when you try to conclude the same game level hundreds of times and have no intention of giving up? Well, either your mother turns the TV off and demands that you go to sleep already, or you beat the game. But let's assume it's Sunday morning and your parents are not home. Therefore, the only option is to beat the game. And so I did. Practice. It is the essential part of any art, the essential part of any skill. When I play the same game again and again and again and again and again and again and again I unknowingly developed a strong work ethic towards the goal of improvement. And the joy, oh, the joy of finally being able to finish a level after so long. And again, 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 and again. Now I'm an adult. I can't play video games as much as before. Now I'm a musician. Tendinitis is just a myth. I still feel the same feeling years later, but not through games, but rather music. Playing, to be more precise. I have to be honest with you. I was never good at games, and I'm not a speedrunner. But the relentless practice and repetition exists inside the core nature of what makes a good musician and a good gamer. Let me ask you a question. How long does it take to learn a piano piece? One might say 1 week, others might say 1 whole month, or even a whole year if you really want to ace it. But the truth is, you never really learn it. There's always a tiny improvement you can make. Relentless practice just to make sure you nail that hard passage. Planning just to make sure things make musical sense. Wouldn't you know it? Now you have even more ideas. What if I connect this note and then another? Should I play this part louder than the rest? What about tempo? What if I tried playing just a little faster? Yeah, just a little faster. It might work. Psst. Psst. Are you listening? Fun fact. Movie theaters are still a thing. I know, it's hard to believe, but trust me on that. It's gonna be good. I think. Not sure. Maybe. Perhaps. Too late to regret, the movie is starting right now. If you ever heard of the game Trackmania, you might be familiar with the mindset of constant improvement. Trackmania is a racing game that revolves around being faster than others. It is actually that simple. You just need to cross the finish line from start to finish as quickly as possible. There are no collisions nor tricks others can pull to affect your performance. So, if you ever make a mistake, you can sleep peacefully knowing that it's entirely your fault. You're simply not good enough. And then you can wake up in the middle of the night and think about it until morning. Yes, I'm talking about you, Tom. Why are you here? I just wanna watch a movie, man. You should be practicing right now. Maybe you're right. I'm going now. The game itself is built upon the idea of being faster, just like a speedrunner. And arguably, Trackmania itself is built for speedrunning. In short, Trackmania is a game of skill, experience, experimentation, ruthless practice, and repetition. And because of that, it is more similar to a musical performance than it first appears to. You may not believe what I say, and I just want you to know that I don't blame you. I would not trust the voices in my head either. But assuming you are still here, allow me to elaborate. Let's assume you're trying to learn an instrument. It is not as simple as just pressing a key or moving a violin bow. It may work, but it will result in more physical effort, which leads to slower and less accurate playing. Less effort when playing usually means you are more relaxed, which allows you to play with greater accuracy, faster and for longer. Such in-depth analysis can be found in a variety of books about technique, such as Georgi Sanders on piano playing. And I quote, "Before we confront the many challenges of artistic problems, we must investigate a much more tangible and equally important area. I refer to the playing mechanism. We need not to make a complete anatomy survey of every particle of the human body, but we do need an elementary knowledge of the equipment we constantly use. And basically, The writer emphasizes the importance of learning how to use one's body before learning music itself. The same goes for our counterpart. Any speedrunner has to learn the movements of the game. Not only that, they have to learn the ones that are more reliable and time efficient. Bug or not, there's always something you can do to get ahead of others. Nosedives that yeet your car forward at insane speeds. Jumps that lead you through unintended shortcuts. Wiggly movements that somehow make the car faster. And much more I can't even fathom because I'm not a hardcore gamer and I touch grass. At least once a month. Maybe twice.
Yes. Is it supposed to be wet?
But for the sake of argument, let's say you know a movement pattern that allows you to be, let's say, 10 seconds faster. If such method works on only 1 out of 100 attempts, it means you'll need to improve your accuracy through practice to even consider it a viable strategy. Just like a musician learning a difficult passage. And arguably the same can be said for any skill or form of art. And that's the whole point. The more you do something, anything at all, and understand the ins and outs, the better you'll be at doing it. And now comes our second point. Most skills have a point where everyone reaches their peak through pure dedication and isolated practice. If you want to truly excel at something, and especially art, it is important to seek honest feedback from others, preferably the ones more skilled than you. And even if you don't take feedback, learning through careful observation is still possible. And I don't mean to say that practice alone leads to perfection. Quite the opposite. Mindless practice without a clear goal is just plain repetition, repetition, repetition. And I know, I did this joke before. Repetition, repetition. Okay, that's enough. It is deliberate practice that leads to perfection. And as I mentioned earlier, you need to know which movements to use before you can practice them. You cannot practice things you don't even know exist. That's why feedback and observation are crucial. For example, one can improve their technique by checking the way professional pianists use their hands and body. How relaxed are them? How do they move their hands? Are they using their back and shoulder muscles when playing loud and strong chords? Have they chosen to learn an instrument to compensate for something? Not me. And now, back to speedrunners. Many players fail to improve regardless of how many hours they play a game. If you don't even try to play on a harder difficulty, you'll never need to develop the necessary skills to beat it. And if no one teaches you those skills, odds are you'll never learn them, unless spending days or months trying. The speedrun community is blessed with people actively trying to improve and get better together. That happens both on purpose and without such intention. After a new record is obtained, speedrunners must make their recording or game files public, which allows others to learn from the best. Mario 64, GoldenEye, Resident Evil, Dark Souls, and an extensive list of games people love and cherish. Every day they dissect them more and more, trying to be better, new discovery at a time. I can't help but see myself in their shoes. Every time I watch a speedrunner, I feel wonder. And every time I watch a documentary about them, I feel a fuzzy feeling inside. Again, I experience the same thing with music, day after day. Experimentation, practice, repetition, improvement, repeat. I sincerely hope to bring both worlds closer together with this video. My name is Andres. Thank you for watching. And there's nothing after this. The video has ended. And don't trust anyone who says otherwise. This video is sponsored by me. Myself. Yours truly. The guy by your window. The guy inside your house.
One out of 3 people suffer attacks from random YouTuber guys. If you don't want that happening to you, consider donating to Ivory Sharp's Patreon. This way, he may just give you a shout out instead of threatening you or going after you. Be safe and stay away from random YouTuber guys at night.